everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I am Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
This is the comic book discussion series where I explain comics to two guys who didn't know that the Avengers fought the X-Men, which is the book we're going today, by everybody. Many different members of Marvel's pantheon wrote and drew this, I guess to make sure it came out on time, because for some reason whenever you do like a writer-artist combo and you keep them together and they do one 8-month event, it's always delayed, it's always plagued with issues. I guess by passing this off to a number of different artists, you got the books coming out kind of regularly.
I mean, that's fair.
And actually, I think this book came out more than monthly, so that was kind of nice.
Okay.
But like Brian Michael Bendis helped write it, Jonathan Hickman, Ed Brubaker, Jason Aaron helped write it. John Romita worked on the art. Romita Jr. actually. And you had a lot of different artists on the book. You had the Kuberts, you had John Romita Jr., as was said. Jim Chung helped with a lot of the covers. Olivia Coipel did draw a bunch of it. It's all over the place. And that's kind of the real defining point about Avengers vs. X-Men, is that it is all the fuck over the place. It's still a pretty concise event, but Jesus Christ. Don't ever do this again with these writers and artists, because it is like, look at this. It's just a mess, and you can imagine buying it and trying to. At least you got some variation that was kind of fun. You're like, oh, this is a different drawn book. Anytime you put a Kubert on a book,
but if you really like a full story, you don't like the art to change a lot.
No,
it throws you off.
You especially don't want the writers to change and have the voices all
that doesn't make
act bizarre.
Did they at least try to when different people were writing it, they'd focus on different characters, or?
I mean, it was all about the same characters, but no, they did. Yeah, that's my point about it being everywhere, is that it did focus on many different characters, but there were so many characters, and they were only 12 or 13, and you could only focus on so many per issue.
Right. So set the stage for us.
All right.
What's
so
going on?
House of M.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the mutants are decimated. In fact, I think that's what the mutants wind up calling it, is decimation. The first mutant child is born after decimation.
Okay.
Oh.
Cable, the once and future son of Scott Summers and Jean Grey from an alternate timeline.
He's their kid?
Yeah. From the Age of Apocalypse. Not the one that you know, but another one.
I thought he was
There are lots of Ages of Apocalypse.
No, I thought he was just a future mutant. I didn't realize he was their kid.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You may have seen him, actually, in anything we've ever done. Maybe in the cartoon. He's gigantic. He usually has, a metal arm and, what looks like a flash of light coming out of his eye perpetually.
And I think he has, a little piece of metal over it.
Is he on one of these covers?
No.
Oh.
He's not in this book. But it sets the stage for this book. So, long story short with that, Cable takes the infant child, who actually winds up, of course, being named Hope.
You know...
I know.
That's the best name ever.
Right?
Because it never gets overused.
No.
Yeah. There was an episode of South Park where there was a baby born after a catastrophe and they named it Hope.
Yeah, I think those were lice, though.
They were.
They were lice, yeah.
So anyway, Cable and Hope go to the future because Bishop is chasing them, and I don't read X-Men, so I don't know why.
Oh.
Alright, so the short version is Cable takes Hope through time.
For some reason.
Well, to, protect her, I guess, because, the X-Men are ill-equipped to do so. And also, she's too important to the future of mutant kind
and no
for
one else
nebulous
can
reasons.
Travel through time.
Right, well, except for Bishop, who does and chases them. But Cable ditches Bishop someplace in time and strands him there. I think in the past, which is great for him. Cable comes back seemingly days later, but in fact he's been gone for 16, 17 years, and Hope's now bangable.
Does he look older?
Well, he's always been kind of old.
Yeah, so does he look older? No. Does Hope look older? Yes.
But Cable also is infected with the Legacy virus, which makes part of his body into metal. So you could argue that the metal in his body and the Legacy virus that he's been trying to prevent from turning him into a husk of metal staved off his aging. People think during this book that maybe Hope is actually the reincarnation of Jean Grey.
Well, that's
the
bullshit.
reincarnation of Jean Grey?
Yeah, well, because Jean Grey's
get reincarnated?
Well, no, but Jean Grey was also the Phoenix, so maybe like the resurrection angle. By the way, she's not,
because if
Like
in
the
order
Phoenix
for her to
went
be
into-
resurrected,
yeah.
the Phoenix would have to come back and do that to her. She couldn't do it on her own.
Well, like
She's
maybe
not
some
Maybe a
some
piece of
part
the Phoenix got
imprinted onto her, or you know, or copied.
yeah,
I hate you guys.
into the parents or something.
Spoilers: Hope is not
The Phoenix.
the Phoenix
It's gotta be
or
the Phoenix.
Jean Grey. Hope's not
Or
Jean
Jean
Grey.
Grey, okay.
But Cyclops and his team of X-Men believe, in like a religious kind of way, that Hope is going to be the vessel for the Phoenix.
How would you even know that?
Well, you just believe it.
You just Oh, why? How do you even know that
How?
God exists?
You hope, Ben.
You hope.
Hope.
And
I don't want to punch you guys.
But I
I
do.
really
now.
want to punch you guys.
guess
So bad.
See, here's the thing. Why do they think that that's going to happen and not
Anything
anything
else?
Because there's so much random shit in the Marvel universe
Because,
that
like-
could cause mutants to come back. Why'd they focus on the
Well,
Phoenix?
because
What
like
about just mutants coming back naturally? Hope was finally born.
Yeah.
A new mutant was born.
She is
Guess
proof
what?
that
Yes.
you don't need the Phoenix to bring back
no,
mutants.
because Doctor Strange only protected those select mutants with his powers when
But she was
Scarlet
born
Witch
after
rewrote
that.
reality.
She was born after that,
Yes,
right?
but that's a fluke. That's like a sign from God. Scarlet Witch changed reality itself so that mutants couldn't exist anymore. But yet one emerged.
Clearly, it's biological and it's not divine.
No, it might be divine.
It shouldn't be that hard to find out. Like, Scarlet Witch just depowered everyone. Just check and see if those people still have the X gene.
Right? No, they don't.
They don't.
No,
Okay.
but she does.
But you got to check other people and see if maybe they had the X gene. Because, like, maybe, like, did she remove the X gene from everybody, or did she just remove it from people who already had
No, she removed
powers?
the X gene from reality.
That's impossible because then there wouldn't be.
But the
mutants.
X gene came about naturally, so it could just
Yes.
come about naturally again. I
Right.
mean, it was a mutation as a result of the
Yeah,
atomic
it could-
age, right?
Yeah, it could be like a causality reaction
Yeah.
to being snuffed out.
Yeah, the X gene did not exist and was not in reality before it came about through a mutation.
Yeah, it was just a natural mutation.
Oh no, Cyclops is a fucking idiot
Yeah.
and a lunatic.
I mean,
in
it would
this
take
book.
longer because you have to wait for natural mutations
Oh, naturally,
to
yeah.
occur.
There was this event called Schism where Wolverine and Cyclops fought, and they disbanded the X-Men. So Wolverine took some X-Men, and Cyclops took some X-Men, and they went to different sides of the country.
Did they fight over this?
No,
issue?
well, they fought in this.
Wolverine
yeah.
didn't go to Canada?
No, Wolverine stayed in Westchester and bought the X-Mansion from Professor Xavier and renamed it the Jean Grey School for Gifted Youngsters.
That seems like something Scott would do.
Yeah, but
No, it seems like something Wolverine would do.
yeah, because
Yeah, it seems like
between
something a pussy Wolverine would do.
Well, it's
between
like,
the two of
I
them,
can't marry her, so I'll name my school after her.
well,
Scott.
that's exactly what it is. Also, between the two of them, Wolverine never mind banged Emma Frost while he was still married to Jean Grey, and Scott did.
Also, to be fair, Wolverine never banged Jean Grey.
No, but he did make a school named after her, and that's almost as good.
No.
Cyclops winds up forming his own X-team on a little island off the coast of San Francisco, which he calls Utopia, which he builds with Magneto.
He doesn't call it Xtopia?
No, Utopia.
Or Magtopia.
They should have called it Mutopia.
Mutopia. Oh,
God damn it.
you missed the boat, Marvel.
I know.
Damn it.
I know. The event Avengers vs. X-Men begins with the fact that the Phoenix Force is back, and it is coming for Earth.
So they got something right. They knew that was
They
going to
knew
happen.
the Phoenix, but you could pretty much guess that the Phoenix Force will return because, in essence, it will always return.
Right. At some point, you just wait long enough, and
Yep.
that prophecy will come true.
That's like Wolverine waiting long enough. Eventually, I will bang Jean Grey.
Yeah, eventually she'll come back, whether it's in her teenage form or in a reincarnated form or in a resurrected form. I will
clone.
bang Jean Grey, and in fact, in Age of Apocalypse, he does. Both the Avengers and the X-Men know the Phoenix Force is coming, and the Avengers know that the X-Men are pretty familiar with the Phoenix Force, and they're also aware of Hope and their belief in the prophecy that Hope will become the vessel for the Phoenix, and something will happen. Cyclops would like to think that the Phoenix will bring mutants back to life. Everyone else thinks the Phoenix Force will probably destroy the planet because it has
what it
done
does.
other things like that before.
That's a fair assumption.
Yes. So Captain America asks Wolverine, if I ask Cyclops to help me, do you think he will help me? And Wolverine's like, no, he will not. He has kind of gone a little crazy. So Cap's like, got it. So Cap gets his entire team of Avengers and put them in a Quinjet, and then they fly to Utopia, which we'll call Mutopia for the rest of the episode, and Cap and Cyclops try to have a conversation, and Cap's like, hey, Cyclops, listen, I think that we should put Hope into protective custody, where we'll hang on to her, because we've got crazy shit. We've got magicians and, mutants of our own,
right.
and, S.H.I.E.L.D. and all kinds of other crazy shit. We got a Hulk. We got all kinds of ways to protect Hope, and we can work together to deal with the Phoenix. And Cyclops is like, fuck you, you flag-wearing douche. When my people were destroyed, you didn't do anything. When the Phoenix Force came the first time, you didn't lift a finger. You never did anything to help my people. And now, all of a sudden, my people might have a chance to come back, and you want to control the situation. Well, you know what? Blast. And then the Avengers show up, and they fight the X-Men.
Wow.
That's kind of a fair reaction on Scott's.
It's kind of
it depends on how coercive, Cap was being. Was he like, well, I'm going to do this anyway, and you can't stop me?
No, Cap's like, well, yeah, more or less, Cap's like that. Yeah. Well, Cap's like, so here's the thing. The Phoenix Force is coming. I really need your expertise on this. Like, he gives him a couple of, he makes it a compliment sandwich. Like, hey, you know the Phoenix Force so well, but you're so ill-equipped to protect Hope from it. But I know that your experience and your powers will aid us in this quest.
That's a very good compliment sandwich.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does that happen like issue 1?
Yeah, issue 1, they start fighting.
Okay.
And the fight goes forever.
I like that when Wolverine says, he went crazy. Captain just says the man who named a school after a dead woman.
Right. He does
Who
not
he never
say that.
banged.
We never even banged.
He never even sleeps with her. What a douche.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Wolverine?
Right?
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna harp on
OMFG. You should.
Okay, so do they fight through multiple issues? Because I see these are called rounds. So is it just like each issue is just another round of the same fight that just drags on?
Well, sometimes they regroup and leave. Sometimes the fight takes place in a high up mountain or in the ocean or in Wakanda.
But time doesn't really pass. It's not like
time
a
passes.
month goes by.
Oh no,
and
it's
then
it's like
another fight.
weeks that this war between the It's like Civil War, but with the Avengers and the X-Men.
But I'm saying between issues, it wasn't and a month passes, and now you're here.
A couple weeks pass. Yeah.
okay.
Oh no.
Now is it literally that they just keep fighting over and over again, or is there some progression?
Well, here's the thing. They are fighting, but they're also fighting to get Hope, because Hope winds up sneaking out during their fight, and she's like, my destiny is my own, and I'm not going to let anybody tell me what to do.
Right.
So
I'm 16.
So I'm
because
16
she's a teenage girl.
Yep.
So she winds up ditching, and she and Wolverine wind up meeting up, and Wolverine's like, so I have to kill you because you're going to be the Phoenix, and I've seen that shit happen, and I'm going to kill you with
What?
adamantium claws. I'm sorry.
That's insane.
I'm sorry, but I have to kill you.
But why does he believe that? Why does he believe that stupid theory that
Because
Cyclops
he's seen the Phoenix.
He was just arguing that Cyclops is crazy.
He
But
probably
Wolverine's
saw,
that asshole murderer.
he probably saw the Phoenix do whatever it did and destroy Jean Grey.
Yeah.
And he's probably just I can't let that happen again.
Yeah.
I love Jean Grey too much. And you're pretty much Jean Grey, so I can't let
So
it
I have to
destroy
kill you before that happens.
Yup.
Before you're destroyed.
Well, because
I have to kill you before the Phoenix Force does.
Crazy!
Well, Jean does beg for death when she is the
Yeah.
Phoenix. So, I mean, he knows at least that being the Phoenix is not a walk in the park.
Right.
So-
he still has no reason to think that she's going to be the Phoenix.
But she's
No.
been trained to be the Phoenix.
Yes. Also, everyone's pretty much accepted that she probably
they
will
just
be.
keep talking about how it's going to be her, so if they do that enough, I guess that sounds about right.
Yeah. Now, wouldn't it have been awesome if she wasn't the Phoenix?
Yeah. That would have been a much better story.
But she is.
Oh, she is. I thought she wasn't going to be. I thought you were leading us up.
Yeah, no.
Nah, they
Well,
were
here's the
wrong.
thing. So, Cap has a space contingent to, try to keep the Phoenix Force at bay, and it gets wiped out. And,
Let me guess, easy.
Oh, yeah. Space Iron Man winds up using a combination of magic and technology to create, because they wind up seeking refuge in the city of Kunlun, which is a ancient city in a netherworld that trains people to become the Iron Fist. Iron Man builds this magic techno gun, and he theorizes that he can unmake the Phoenix by shooting it with it.
With a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's his idea.
Well,
I'm
you
going to
said-
shoot the Phoenix with a big gun.
Yeah.
You
That'll
said that
work.
there was technology and magic.
And magic.
The
Yeah.
magic gun.
Yeah.
Is the Phoenix Force magic?
No, it's cosmic, but he figures maybe a little combination of both might be put the whammy on it.
All right.
Well, it doesn't, And in fact, it winds up splitting the Phoenix into 5 parts. And they all go into 5 members of Cyclops' team. Cyclops, Emma Frost, Colossus, his sister Magic, and Namor the Submariner, who at this point had actually joined the X-Men because it was established that he's not actually like Atlantean and shit. He's actually the first mutant.
Oh my god.
Now, when it split into 5, were they different personalities or different powers, or is it just
No.
like
Just 1/5
No, it's,
of the...
it's-
1/5
you get
of the Phoenix
1/5
Force.
of the power.
Yep.
Who's Magic?
Magic is Ileana Rasputin, Colossus's younger sister.
Oh, I've never heard of Magic.
She sucks. And originally, she was actually in a really great X-Men story where she got the fucking legacy virus and died.
Oh,
And it makes Colossus quit the X-Men, and he winds up joining the Acolytes with Magneto.
Oh.
was
Because
really
his sister dies? His sister dies and he turns evil.
Well, he doesn't turn evil. He's just like maybe
Well,
Professor X is...
He joins the bad guys.
Yeah. He joins Magneto.
Because of the legacy virus.
Yeah. So now they're the Phoenix Force 5, which is a thing they really called it.
Phoenix Force 5, the triple F.
Yeah, it's the Quentin Tarantino joke.
Triple F sound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fox Force
It's
5.
a triple F throwdown. So they wind up
So then they have to
using...
fight.
No, well, so they wind up using their Phoenix powers to end world hunger and pestilence. Like, they use the Phoenix Force because it's diluted and because, like, they are aware of the Phoenix because they kind of, like, had their own training by knowing about the Phoenix and kind of dealing with it before. It's really unclear as to how they manipulate the Phoenix, but maybe the fact that, like, they're only using 1/5 of it means that they can...
It's less
Right, they can
concentrated.
overpower it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're always fighting it because it's always trying to corrupt them. Because the Phoenix is like an evil force. Like it always wants to go dark.
Well, then there's no way that Hope could ever control it because
Yes.
it's just constant evil.
Right. So
So that was always a dumb plan.
it was always a terrible plan.
But, like, I guess it's not any worse than any other plan because what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's a fucking cosmic flying
like,
firebird.
Iron Man's plan didn't work either.
No, it didn't.
So,
So they, so the Phoenix Force 5 winds up like trying to save the world and show the world that like mutants are good and can do good things or whatever.
they
and
could have done that at any time.
I know. But Cap is like, I don't trust him and I don't believe him and I'm not turning myself into them because they're also like, oh, by the way, we're in charge of the world. Like, this is ours now.
Oh, you can't. What?
Yeah,
well,
that's an excellent stance to take after you've
See,
been,
we're
like-
good.
Yeah, see?
We just want to take over the world. That's all.
we just want to.
Fine.
We
just want
just
to take it
know
over a little bit.
We just know that you clearly don't know how to run it.
Right.
Look, you want to control us, so instead of that, we're going to control you.
Is that what's happening
Yeah.
in round 6 here? Where I
Uh-huh.
see these 5 people.
Yeah, have the Phoenix Force, and they get cool new Phoenix costumes,
Yeah.
Did they get cool new names? Like douchebag?
or like Phoenix Clops.
Schmuckface?
No, they don't get new powers or names.
Okay,
well, they
so-
do get new powers.
So we're through to round 6 of 12.
Uh-huh.
Now. Okay.
Well, don't worry, because here's where things get a lot less complicated.
Okay.
By that, do you mean stupid?
Well, yeah. Once you defeat a member of the Phoenix Force 5, and by defeat them, I mean render them unconscious.
God damn it, you take
Knock-
their power.
Knock him out.
Their power goes to the next... It gets split up amongst the remaining conscious members of the Phoenix Force.
Oh, thank God. I thought it was going to be like, I've defeated you, so I
No,
take your
I
power.
become the
Because
Phoenix-
then Hope was going to fight all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have
Then
made
it would
more
just be a
sense.
Highlander.
This was silly because this was... so they defeat, like, Namor.
I mean, this makes more sense, because, like, then it's just redistributing it amongst itself.
Right, it
Right.
does, yeah, it's
It
trying to
takes itself
reconstitute
out.
itself.
Yeah.
It is unnaturally divided.
Right.
So it's always trying to get
It's like
back.
trapped in people, and by knocking them out, you're setting it free.
Yeah. Yeah,
Although
because
it's
they don't have
weird
any...
that all you have to do is knock them out.
Yeah.
Like, why?
It's probably
why would it
because,
just
like...
leave when they fall asleep?
Yeah, well, they probably
Well, they
don't
don't
sleep.
sleep.
They probably use their powers to
Oh, to
prevent
not
themselves from
sleep.
sleeping.
Because they know that if they sleep, they'll lose their power.
They'll lose, I guess.
It's subconscious.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if that's what they did.
Yeah,
I'm
they-
sure
they
they
didn't do that, no.
think of that.
And then, like, eventually one of them is just like, I'm so fucking tired, and then just pass out
Yeah,
and
and then,
leaves.
yeah, that would be awesome. Actually, my man Spider-Man has a great moment in this story where, like, he needs to get the... Because, like, the Phoenix Force took, like, some hostages from the Avengers side, and so, like, they sneak into, like, a cave to get them back. And
Which Phoenix Force?
all of them. Like, I meant
Oh,
the Phoenix
Phoenix
Force
Force
5.
5.
I don't want to say that over and over
Triple
again.
F.
The Triple F. And they're almost all through the teleporter, but, like, the Colossus Phoenix and Magic Phoenix are going to beat their asses, so Spider-Man stays behind and distracts them long enough to let everybody get away. And they beat the holy shit out of Spider-Man. So they wind up like arguing with themselves over like, this is wrong, we shouldn't be doing this, but also like, I'm like, don't listen, like, don't talk to me like that. Like the Phoenix Force is like manipulating magic and making her more of a douche, and like it's making Colossus like question his morality, and like, but they're really getting at each other's throats, and Spider-Man talks them into fighting each other, and they knock each other out. And so their powers go away.
Oh, wow.
By the way, when the Phoenix Force winds up going into other characters, or into when it starts to reconstitute itself, it's more powerful.
Well, yeah.
So like
right.
when it winds up being, the last two characters are Emma Frost and Cyclops.
They're super powerful.
Who are mega powerful. And
they're each like half a Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like they're starting to lose control of themselves.
Right.
Also,
Probably because the Phoenix Force wants to be back into one sentient being.
You know who doesn't get the Phoenix Force? Fucking Magneto.
He's like, ah!
And he's you could kind of tell he's a little bit like, what the fuck, man? Because he probably would have like killed all of them and then just taken over the world, but he doesn't do that.
Well, I mean, that's just an easy end to the story.
That would have been really cool. I would have been totally okay with that.
What's Wanda's role in this book?
She's a member of the Avengers. And
why?
Because she...
Didn't they ban her after she like fucked up reality so many times?
She got better and she apologized. And there's a whole story called Avengers: The Children's Crusade, where she kind of like ingratiates herself with the team.
I see.
Is it she saves a lot of kids?
We'll get into it one day, but it's...
I don't think I want to get into it.
No, it's cool.
So she's back on the team.
She's back on the team, and the X-Men are like, "Duh, it's the fucking bitch who ruined everything. This is all your fault." Like, duh. Like,
no wonder the mutants are also really pissed off at the Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, also, Cap kind of like brings her out, because he's like, watch what'll happen if I bring Wanda out. Like, you could kind of tell he's like, we should probably get Wanda on this mission, because that'll make Cyclops go fucking crazy. And, does he? So, Emma and Cyclops are like arguing over like what they should be doing, and then Cyclops like, fuck you, and so he like beats the shit out of Emma and like takes her powers.
Oh my god.
And he's like, there, okay. So that's when Captain America brings out the big guns. He brings out Charles Xavier, who's like,
what?
Because he's alive, like he's there, like he's been.
Why is Cap bringing out Charles Xavier?
Well, because Charles Xavier's like, this is not what I trained.
Well, where
Scott
did he go?
and my team to. Well, he didn't want to have anything to do with the X-Men after
everyone lost their power.
After the like crazy House of M / Schism shit.
Oh, okay.
Like he sold the mansion to Wolverine. He's like, I'm out. I'm doing other shit. I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like clearly, I don't know what I'm doing.
So he's been off the side.
Yeah, he's been off the map.
Then he just gets up.
Well, like he actually winds up he's like, listen, you guys need me, and so like they're like, okay, well, if anyone's going to be able to talk Cyclops down, it's going to be a surrogate father.
How fun would it be if when he sold him the mansion, Charles was just like, all right, cool. He gets up and walks out of his wheelchair.
He can walk at this point.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't do it like that. He's like, pimp, leave.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been faking the whole time.
Yeah.
Later.
I just wanted the parking spot.
Yeah.
Now, what did they just develop?
It's your house!
I mean, everywhere.
Like at the grocery store.
Did they just figure out how to fix them?
He figured out how to fix himself.
With his mind?
Yeah. Well, because he wasn't really... it depends on... He's had varying degrees of paralysis over the years. Sometimes, like, he only lost his ability to walk on the, like, psychic plane against the Shadow King. So, like, he wasn't really paralyzed, but he thought he was paralyzed. Like, his mind was paralyzed. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, they probably were just like, I really hate drawing the wheelchair and all the places it has to
Probably
be.
it.
We drew him in a wheelchair a long time. It's enough.
That's why they probably invented, like, his hover chair, because it's way easier to draw than all those fucking wheels with the lines and the fucking stitching.
And you always have to be on, like, stable ground
and stuff,
Yeah. He tries to appeal to him. He's like, Scott, like, this isn't what I raised you to do. Like, this isn't my dream. This isn't anything. Like, you're just being a crazy person.
Right.
And Scott's like, you're a fucking idiot, too. You don't know it. Like, you abandoned your dream the second, like, trouble came, and when everything was coming apart, like, I had to hold up. And he's like, and Professor X is like, Scott, like, if you don't stop this, I will fucking kill you with my mind. And then Cyclops kills him. And I say that because I don't know what the fuck he does to kill him. He just, like, has him in, like, Phoenix clutches, and then he's dead. And they're like, you killed him!
I guess he used Phoenix powers.
Yeah, he used Phoenix powers and killed Professor X. Which, of course, using the Phoenix means that you can always bring him back. Because, like, maybe he imprinted some part of him onto the Phoenix Force or Cyclops.
Alright, that's strike two.
I know, I did it twice.
If Professor X comes back, say, I don't know, some piece of...
Yeah, don't do it again!
To me.
Done.
He can quote it exactly.
Yeah, he could say
the exact line from The Matrix when he's talking to Cyclops
Yeah.
about how he came back.
Boy, those were great movies. So Professor X dies like a punk,
Like a punk.
and
Let me guess. No one else really cares.
well, no, they're all really upset. No, because like Professor X, it's like it's sad.
Really? Does everyone rise up against Scott?
They don't rise up, but they're like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Hey,
well, they're
Phoenix.
already rising up against Scott. Like everyone is already against
Yeah,
Scott.
they can't beat him, though. He's the Phoenix.
Yeah. Ultimately, to beat Phoenix Cyclops, Hope shows up. And she's like, you're not even supposed to be the Phoenix. I'm supposed to be the fucking Phoenix. And so the Phoenix goes into her, and she's like, yay! And
Why didn't the Phoenix just do that any time prior if that's what it
They have
wanted?
to-
Especially all the other... Well, I
Does it
guess
have to be,
maybe...
like,
they like
nearby?
fight him, and he's also like he's using his own like will to
But
control
once
it.
she's like right there, the Phoenix is like,
It's like, oh, it's
I can
the
sense it.
Yeah.
The person I want's right there. I'm
Plus,
just
like, I guess it makes sense
And
that
everyone
when it was
attacks
split
him.
into 5, it was much easier to control, so it definitely wouldn't have left them.
yeah. No.
So Hope has this moment where she's like, wait, I could use the powers to like bring back Professor X, and I can fix everything. And they're like, that's not the fucking plan here,
Don't
because you're
do
just gonna.
that.
And then she starts to go dark, and she's like, oh no, like I can't do this. She starts to waver from their original plan, just a little bit, but then she regains her composure, and then she enacts the secret plan that they had worked out. And the secret plan was, she and the Scarlet Witch use their powers. The Scarlet Witch uses her reality altering powers, and Hope uses her Phoenix powers, and says, no more Phoenix, and unmakes the Phoenix, the way that Scarlet Witch unmade the mutants.
Oh.
So the Phoenix...
So you couldn't have done that with Scarlet Witch to begin with?
No, because you needed the power of the Phoenix in order to unmake it.
No, you didn't.
You did, because it's just you attacking the Phoenix. If you have a willing controller of the Phoenix doing it, and Cyclops wasn't going to fucking do that.
Professor Xavier could have just been like, hey, Scarlet Witch, let's combine our mental powers, since apparently I'm
Yeah.
with the Avengers,
Well, 'cause
and you're with the Avengers, we'll just unmake
That
the
implies
Phoenix.
they're more powerful than the
Than
Phoenix.
and they're
but
not.
The Phoenix is super
You
powerful.
needed Hope in this in order to make it work.
And the
It
Phoenix
has some
is...
resistance to magic, I guess.
Well, the Phoenix is also more powerful than every mutant on the planet.
Also that, yes.
Yes. So
It destroyed an entire galaxy, man.
So they unmake the Phoenix, but as you know, when they unmade all the mutants, and all the energy went someplace, the energy of the Phoenix dissipated into the Earth and wound up creating new mutants.
Just like fucking they wanted.
Yep.
When the Phoenix came back, they're like, we'll use it to make some new mutants, and they did, by accident.
Well, Stark thought that by doing this plan it might work that way. But he didn't tell anybody, because if it didn't work, he didn't want backlash or bullshit.
Right, like, hey, you said it would make me...
Yeah.
So how many
And
new
it
mutants
didn't-
are we talking here?
It's as many as Marvel wants to create.
Oh, God.
But since Fox owns the rights to use mutants, they're probably not going to be creating too many.
Probably going to change it. Yeah, you know what?
Maybe
You know
made
what?
in humans. They already did
Mutants.
that, though. And in Infinity, they ended it with a fucking, like, a Terrigen bomb that made new Inhumans. So it's the same fucking thing, only with Inhumans. Because they were like, we gotta fucking get these Inhumans out there so people could...
Yeah.
So Wanda wanted to bring mutants back.
Yeah, well, she really felt bad about it. You know, what she did with House of M, and she knew that this was all kind of her fault anyway.
And she couldn't just will them back into existence because she did that in the first place. By
She
getting
did that
rid
by
of them.
using Professor X and Doctor Strange.
Well, why didn't she
Just her.
Why didn't they just redo that? Why didn't they just be like, Doctor Strange,
Because
Professor X,
you-
you come back and you stand here.
Because you
and
can't just change the world every time it doesn't work out for you.
Well, that's what they
she
do here. in
Because
this
the
book.
Phoenix was going to destroy the world.
I see.
Not having
So they're
mutants
like,
doesn't fuck everything up. It fucks everything up, but in a way where it's like, well, now we have to live with this. But if the Phoenix, if the Phoenix Force is coming to destroy reality, and we accidentally make more mutants, yay, I guess. But the more important thing is getting rid of the Phoenix Force, and they knew that getting rid of the Phoenix Force was this is the only way to do it. This is the only way
The
to
only
make
way
that
to do
work.
it was to use Wanda, and she was going to use it to make more mutants, and they couldn't do anything about that. So it was like, well, I guess that's fine.
And she didn't even. I don't even think she even said that. I think that was just
Right.
part of the plan.
I would have been so much happier if the Phoenix Force actually destroyed parts of the Earth or was taking over. Because then you have the mutants that are left fighting against it. Because then that's the story. That's the reality that you're living with.
Using
It's not,
it to their own advantage.
Oh, yeah, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I think that's a wasted opportunity.
Well, this whole book it's 12 fucking parts, and it took the length of an episode of back issues to explain it. Like, it's really flimsy. Not much happens. They fight a lot, and then they get rid of the Phoenix. And the Phoenix is going to come back.
Because after it got done making mutants on Earth, then it probably dissipated elsewhere, and it can just reform.
And then it reconstitute itself someplace else, maybe in the sun.
Yeah. Or in the center of the Earth or something.
Right?
Like lots of fire
Or
and
whatever
magma.
they want. Yeah.
And eventually there's going to be like some seismic quake and a volcano's going to erupt.
Yeah, and then the
it's gonna
Phoenix
come
will
out.
burst out of it.
Phoenix Kano, and it'll come out.
Right.
And
Maybe Mutopia will explode and a volcano will erupt from within it, and then a Phoenix Force will shoot out of it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I don't know.
Or Magneto was going to like mine the Earth to try and get the Phoenix Force because it's just like...
It's like, no, I know what's in there.
Oh, man.
And they'll
like to
start
see
shifting
that.
tectonic plates again.
No, he can't
That
do
happened in the
anymore,
Ultimate
right?
Universe. He didn't do that. What?
No. I was going to say he can't do that anymore, but that was not even...
Well, no, because in the Ultimate Universe, he's fucking dead.
No.
So, Avengers vs. X-Men. This is what happens when you get a whole bunch of people together and make them all do the same event.
Yeah, well, it seems very old school.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of old
The Phoenix
school.
Force is coming, and we can use... The Phoenix Force is a Deus Ex Machina, so we can do whatever we want with it.
Yeah. A big summer blockbuster event. This at least was like a blockbuster event. I don't know.
And they still haven't decided how many mutants there are as a result of this.
No.
Oh, as
Why
many
don't
as
they
I
just
want.
use Cerebra and find out?
I don't know. Well, because they keep pointing out that, like, Emma Frost's powers aren't what they used to be. So,
Wait.
like, she can't quite, like, do what she
Why
used to be
aren't her
able to
powers
do.
what they used to be?
I think after the Phoenix Force, like, it, like, made everyone a little depowered.
Can I ask a question now? What the fuck is Hope's purpose?
Oh, I don't know. It's over now.
So she's just like, fuck you.
She leaves. She's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go find my destiny. She just, like, fucking leaves. Anyway, Avengers vs. X-Men by damn near everybody from all the comics. You can pick it up in trade or the back. Don't pick it up. It's just fucking whatever. Just watch the show.
You're getting the best of it right here.
It's true. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I am Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
And that was Back Issues. So long. I also forgot to mention that, like, Colossus is the Juggernaut.